Oh, hey everybody, it's Paul. How you doing today? Well, it's late on Friday night, and I figured I'd run down things to you. Yeah, my other stations popped for 7 days, so we'll continue on here on this channel. Just like I said, you have to click the link, and then you can hear the continuation of my life, which is like a Peyton place, frankly. Um, well, folks, I've been getting along really, really well with the people that come to the condominium there, and a lot of it is because it's just like everybody's laid back because they're on vacation. But I'm afraid that it goes much deeper than that. It's the fact that we live in South Florida, which is a dumping ground for mindless immigrants. Sorry, and that's not just going. And I'm not saying that all of them here are mindless. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that many are, okay, and we have to deal with it, okay. And the people who have the most to lose are the people that understand what's going on, and there's nothing we can do about it because they just open up the country to people that don't have any real experience in college or liberal arts, and it means something. It means something, and a kind of understanding, even if you don't go to college, understanding, basic humanity principles, which they don't understand here. By and large, the minorities, they know how to be with each other. That's not to say all of them, by the way. But anyways, I'll tell you what happened today at work. I'm starting to be appreciated by the people. And, like I have no life, so I don't care whether I leave on time or whether I get out an hour late. I don't really care, because I don't have any life anyway, right? So we have a guy that's from another country, and that country will remain nameless. I'll just leave it at that. And he's a bore and a bore, in my opinion. Okay, and he has a lot of strength, I believe, from his cultural background. Okay, but as far as being a human being, doesn't understand anything. And this is basically how it is where he's from. And I so much as told him so. I didn't tell him exactly that, but he wouldn't have been able to comprehend it anyway because I don't think he can. He's not capable of that. So I wear a lot of perfume and I wear a lot of cologne and I smell real good. And I got, a couple nice girls were saying that they liked me today that came in. And this isn't going over well in his culture, which is not in this hemisphere. And it's just not going well. It's not going well for him. And I try to be real kind and real considerate to all the people, considering they pay so much money to come in and rent these places out. And I think that's the way it is, and that's the way it should be. And, oh, yeah, we're supposed to keep order, but, they're not lopping people's head off. They're not, throwing darts at each other. They're not doing any of these kind of things. The thing they do is they don't wear their mask, which has to be dealt with, which you know how I feel about. They do things like, they make too much noise when they're in their apartment or whatever it is. But by and large, really by and large, black, white, whoever comes in there, it's mostly white, but there are plenty of black too. And by and large, they're very, very well behaved. You might have people making a little bit too much noise or something or another, but it's really minor in my opinion, and it doesn't warrant all of this aggressive behavior that these other guards are doing. The people are good people. Sorry. I mean, I know that makes me a bad guy, but they're good people. And they're from the north, and I get along with them. They're good people. That's why. And they see that I'm doing my job and that I'm grateful that they're here. And I give them the respect as such. So there you have it. And, I can't talk to this guy from a different hemisphere because, and he's my coworker, and I can't talk with him because he's not qualified. He's not going to be able to understand. I think his culture is going to tell him what the issue is, and he's going to stick to it in his mind. And no matter what I say, it's not going to make any difference. So you might as well tell him what he wants to hear. So, I stayed a little late today. Why? Because I have no life. Because I'd be doing just what I'm doing now. But I did it to help out. But you see, the only way I can explain that to the guy from the different hemisphere is I have to explain to him that I'm interested in getting chicks that work there. You understand? That's essentially what you have to just get over with telling him. Because it ain't going to make any difference what you tell him anyway. Okay? So, that's the issue. And is it partly true? Kind of, sort of. Because I want to be seen as a handsome gentleman and so forth. And debonair and all that, everybody does. So, of course, we go to the girls that are working and, we say whatever, and I'm not offensive to them. But I really kind of had it out with him today, and, he ain't going to like it. He didn't like it. And I told him as such about his culture, and that's why there's problems. And I didn't say it in that manner. I said, because you're blank, it's different for you. I said it's different. And I said it in a very dumb dildo-ish way to say it. So that he wouldn't think anything good of me. It's hard to explain, but I had to just explain like I was just like a racist. You understand? That was the only way, because it's the only way he's going to see it anyway. So I had to say, because you're, and the are going to see things a different way. I said, you have a way with girls, I don't. So and then I explained to him what I told you the last time, and I had to explain the whole thing to him. And because I was talking to the girl at work, who, by the way, has dethroned the other girl who drew the picture of me. Man alive. She's a nice girl. I talked to her for a couple of minutes when I got off my shift. She's a nice little girl. She just graduated, and she's a young girl. And she is indistinguishable from the little Cuban girl that was in that Speedway gas station. She's indistinguishable. She looks exactly alike with the mask on. The same hair, the same long hair, the same freckles, same Latina. She's indistinguishable. I could not tell them apart. However, I could tell her apart because when I went to check out and I had to punch my time card, I had a good look at her. And she's smaller, with a smaller frame, but she is one of the most attractive women I have ever seen. Unbelievable. Really. I got a good look at her, and I couldn't believe it, okay? So I didn't say anything, but I gave her a Milky Way, one of those little Milky Way candy bars, those little mini ones, and I gave her another one as I left. But nothing, just left it for her, just nothing, I really didn't want to eat it. I didn't want to eat any more sweets. So, And I offered the guy too, but he didn't want it. Okay, so whatever. Uh, the 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 enormous amount of cologne that I wear is enough to make a guy think that you're a homosexual, because I think essentially, I think he's trying to protect the honor of the women by not letting a homosexual, or what he sees as a homosexual, involve himself to his harem over there. I think is the proper way to say it, essentially here. I'm paraphrasing here, kind of, but I think that's pretty close to on the mark. So this is where we're at with this. It's just part of what happens when you bring in uncontrolled immigration into a country, and these people are real, real tough people, which tells you why I do not have any of them as friends, just because they're really tough people. And I can tell you that at that other place that I worked at, a lot of them are from World War II, at the old folks' home there. And they're tough people. And when you come from that area of the country where it's 30 below zero consistently, you're tough people. And to stand up to Adolf Hitler and his panzer divisions, although greatly outnumbered, the Germans were fearsome. Those panzer units were fearsome. And it really took tough people to defense against that and to fight back and to attack. To be fair, they didn't just defend, they fought back. So that's my situation right now. The girls are starting to whistle at me, like attractive girls, and not only whistle, but they like me. I treat them nicely. How you doing? We're happy to have you here, What's wrong with saying that? We're happy that you're here. What's wrong with that? You can't pistol whip with an erection? What's the problem? They walk barefoot, so what? You're going to fine them $200? Come on. This is what we're talking about here, So, my boss really likes me because I'm just showing up and doing what I'm supposed to do, And it's like, I think he basically understands, but I don't know if he really understands what the deal is here. And, we'll have to see what happens. But the other guy quit because he can't, his feet were bad and he couldn't stand for 12 hours. And he wasn't particularly overweight. He just couldn't do it. It takes a certain type of discipline, and to go all day doing nothing except, looking at an elevator. Hence the reason why you talk to the people a little bit also, to be fair. I mean, if that's my fault, it's my fault because I can't sit there and stare at the wall and move my head back and forth for 8 hours or 9 hours. He even complained about my break today because I took a half hour and I watched myself on YouTube. He didn't like it. Well, too bad. I get a half hour for break. I work 8 hours, I get a half hour. He said I took the whole half hour. Too bad. I didn't take one break in between, really. Didn't get off my feet. Honestly. So, I tipped the girl off that was working in the front. I said, look, they're calling you. I heard it on the radio. And, she kind of thanked me later, and I came back and I said, are you all right? And she said, yeah. That's it. And as Vlad there, came to the front, I kind of explained to him because it kept getting worse and worse because he's more and more agitated. You understand? He's more and more agitated. First of all, he has to smell an enormous amount of cologne. That's a problem in itself. Number two, he is convinced that I am gay. Okay? Number three, he doesn't have any respect for me. Number four, he doesn't want me working there. Number five, I have evidently infringed upon his harem there of women who think a lot of him, okay, for whatever the reason, okay, which is understandable because he's a big guy, this not big guy, but I mean, he's whatever, you know what I mean? He puts out whatever it is that he puts out. I'm not here to tell you it's right, wrong, good, or bad. Whatever he puts out, whatever, great. But, so when he was up there, I had to tell him exactly what he wanted to hear. Otherwise, it wouldn't make any sense to him, to Vlad. So, the issue really basically stemmed from, we had some Hasidic Jews, okay? Look, folks, they're a pain in the ass, okay? But they're good people, all right? I mean, by and large, they're good people. I know they have their faults. I already know the whole thing, okay? I won't go over it with you. But I make this exception for religion because it's important. You're not familiar with the game, most of you, but I am. And I know about it because when I did lawns, when it would rain and I couldn't do the yard on Friday, I had to do it on Saturday. And when I did it on Saturday, it was a problem for the guy, the Jewish guy, and he was a practicing Orthodox Jew, or I think he was Hasidic. I think they call it Hasidic, but whatever. He was a real hard practicing, serious Jew. And he wouldn't move his car. I had to move his car for him because they won't do that. So what's happening here is I know it's a game, but I can't help it. I respect the people. You understand? They can't hit the elevator button because on their Shabbats there on Friday night, they're not allowed to do any more work. So they can't. I know this sounds like a joke to you people, but it's not. I'm not smiling. They can't press the elevator button because it's considered work. In their religion, they have to get a non-Jew, Goyim, to do it for them. Folks, this is the nature of the problem. Do you understand? With Judaism, in my humble opinion, that is the root of the problem. And it's been going on for thousands of years. But I like them, okay? Call it a character flaw. I'm sorry. I know I'm self-oppressing myself, but I do it for them, and so do most of the other guys there. They do it for them, or when we can. So this man came down, and I don't know whether he's he's an older man. No, that guy wasn't the older man. He was not older, maybe my age. And he needed somebody to come up and turn off his light at 11 o'clock. I'm not kidding you, okay? So he's not going to be there, and he's not allowed to go back there and turn off his light. If you think I'm shitting you, I am not shitting you, okay? Now, Vlad has a lot of other things on his mind besides going over and turning out a man's light who can't turn it out for himself, okay? Do you understand how complex this is? And I'm not smiling about any of it. You understand? This isn't like a tongue-in-cheek talk with my subs and others. By the way Vlad was talking, it made it sound like nothing was going to be done at 11 o'clock, and I got out at 9. I wanted to stay. I clocked out. I wanted to stay because I kind of wanted to go up to the guy's place at 11 o'clock and say, I'll take care of that for you. Call it a character flaw, okay? This was unacceptable to Vlad, and he became more and more agitated as I kind of insisted more and more upon it. Because aside from the basic humanitarianism, which is debatable, I understand that, I don't want everyone having a problem come down because of something like this, okay? And they can probably get ornery. And this goes on all the time, every week. So I'm trying to look out for everybody. That's not acceptable to Vlad. You understand? Vlad will take care of things. So that is therein where this problem started. You understand, folks? And then it escalated because now Vlad is smelling an overabundance of what he thinks is a cheap perfume, but it's actually Guy Laroche, who makes Drakkar. You understand? Which I got a compliment today, and I didn't even know I got a compliment on it because I sprayed a lot of it on me, and I'm in that hallway there, and some girls came in and they said, God, what smells so good in here? What are they spraying here? It didn't make any sense to me. And then I said, where? And then she said, smell. And I took off my mask. I didn't smell it. And I said, that must be my perfume. See? So these are the kind of things that happen when you take care of yourself. You understand? So, and I can do that now. I'm not cutting yards right now. So, I was there talking to the girl, and I said, do you want me to take that stuff over to the other building? Because there's some mail that had to go over to the other building. I'd be happy to do it for you. And I talked to her for a couple minutes, and I found out that she went to school up in Coral Springs. And I told her that I had a little bit of dealings. I had a nanny girlfriend up there, and the guy kind of beat her up and stuff. And I said, I know, you got to be real careful with the people up there. And she, we were talking. Very nice. No sex, no nothing like that. Just nice little girl. And this evidently was moving in on Vlad's harem. So that right away, he started to ask me what I was doing there after I clocked out, as if it's any of his business anyway. He became more and more agitated because then it kept going to get out of here because we'll take care of this at 11 o'clock. And, that was fun. And I went and I had some pizza. I went and got some pizza, and then I came back to pick up my paycheck. That's what I had to do. I had to pick up my paycheck. I forgot about that. So I didn't really want to because what's the point? I'm going to just put it away anyway, save it. But I did anyway. I figured better get it, while the getting's good, right? But, and then, I talked to the girl for a couple of minutes. Like I told you, she told me she went to high school in Coral Springs and all that. And she's just a nice little girl. Plus, this girl is, with hands down, she is the most aesthetically beautiful woman there, period. Period. I had a good look at that little girl today. She's unbelievable, okay? I mean, the other one's nice, too. The one that drew me, she's nice, but her figure is not like that one. This one I talked to tonight was just ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right? I'm being honest. So as we talked, with me and Vlad are talking there and getting more, I'm not really getting into it. He's becoming more and more aggravated because I guess he sees that his harem is being threatened. So, it finally wound up coming, he doesn't understand why I'm there and I got to stay for hours. And what are you doing? You're being too nice to people. Something along that line, right? I said, and then my personality, okay? You know my personality. I can't help this. I said, look, you're Russian. You're different. I said, you don't know what it's like. Do you know that, look, how many hours would you work to talk to a really pretty girl? How many hours would you work? I said, I'm not going to work all day, but I would work for like 2 hours. It's acceptable. But you see, that doesn't make any sense to you because you're Russian. I understand that. You can go out and get girls. I can't. And he goes, what do you mean I'm Russian? That has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with it. You understand? But he's pissed. You understand? Then now he's not nice. Now he doesn't like me. Well, too fucking bad. So, after this routine, and he goes, hey, you come over, it's a pretty girls. I said, let me tell you something. I said, you see this one right here? I said, this one is the prettiest of the bunch. I said, I had a good look at her today. This one is the prettiest girl here. And I said it where she could hear it. Said it in a respectful way. I said, this girl is the prettiest girl here. I said, I had a good look at her. She's beautiful. I said, you wouldn't work for 2 hours for free to talk to a beautiful girl? You know, guys do this, Vlad. You know, they call these chat lines, you know? So, again, it's part of having a kind of mind where you have like a college intellect and the other people don't have any intellect. I'm sorry to say. So that's where we stand right now. So that's life for me right now. I clocked out because I didn't think it was right, because I didn't want to get paid for all that over there. I didn't care. You know what I mean? But this is unacceptable to Vlad. So there's nothing more that we can do on this. You know what I mean? And we'll just have to let it set where it sets. God bless you, folks. That's the trials and tribulations of my life. And we'll get back in a week. My station will be back. And we'll carry on there, okay? God bless you all. And good night. Bye.